What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Hidden Rows. It's Utari here, back with another video. So today we're going to be going over the range meta tier list. So to break down what that means is these are jutsu that are most prevalent in the current meta of Shinobi Striker for range types. So it's not necessarily a list listing how good the jutsu is, or from best to worst, or vice versa. This is just jutsu on how much you see it within the current competitive game modes. So the four game modes being flag battle, combat battle, base battle, and Ninja World Face Off. So everything that I put on the list, none of it will apply to barrier battle. Of course, that has its own meta. But then again, that's only a casual game mode. So these will only be a list of the current competitive game modes on which I just listed. So we have the Jutsu down there at the bottom. I'll just be placing them one at a time and breaking down why that Jutsu goes there. And if you agree or disagree or have any more like comments on anything that I say or whatever, just put that in the comment section below. This is more of a discussion and me sharing my brain with all of you, because I'm a range main, so that's why I decided to do a range list breaking down all of these. So yeah, so this is going to be the current meta and how each of these jutsu do in each of the game mode. So we're going to start off from the top left, and that is Heavenly Hand Power. So Heavenly Hand Power, I had kind of a tough time figuring out where exactly it should go, because it is a really good jutsu. Like, it pretty much, you just swap places with somebody. That's really powerful. It is 16 seconds, but I mean, that's not too bad. So it's pretty balanced as well. I initially had it at the bottom of B tier, but I think it'll kick off C tier. So I'll place it in C tier at the very top, so it could be. And the reason I got it here is because you can use this jutsu in pretty much 3 of the 4 game modes. You won't ever see it really in combat battle unless you're trying to do some sort of pitfall type stuff, but you'll mainly see it in like flag battle or in Ninja World Face Off. You can kind of see it in base battle, but range types, they typically opt to deal damage, be the damage dealer, and let the stall builds go towards the defense types and the healer types. The next one here we got is Phoenix Flower, so Fire Style Phoenix Flower Jutsu, and I have this one also in C tier. And the reason being is you only really see it in combat battle, but it's not bad enough that it's in D tier, that you don't absolutely not see it. It's always combined with Lightning Net for one shots. So yeah, you'll see this in combat battle, and just the fact that it one shots makes it above a D tier. So I'll place this one in C tier. The next jutsu we have here is Infernal Style Flame Control. So initially I had this as A, but I'm gonna put it at the top of B tier. And the reason is because the nerf that it got. So it got a hard nerf in Ninja World Face Off, where it no longer splits towards multiple enemies when you're facing people in Face Off. It only goes after the person you're targeting. So with that heavy nerf, you hardly ever see it in Face Off. You'll definitely see it in maybe combat battle, maybe base battle, but for the most part, you'll really see it. And like, you don't really see it. It's still powerful jutsu. That's what I'm saying. So like, you'll definitely see it, with more casual players. But as far as like the meta goes, I can't place it any higher than B tier. Now the big boy Fireball Majestic, you guys already know this is a S tier jutsu. You see it everywhere. You see it in quick match. You see it in every single game mode, like casual or not. This is like one of the most common jutsu you've seen. It's been that ever since its release. It got one nerf, which it put it at 17 seconds. Well, also like they reduced the tracking, but still it hasn't affected its that spot in S tier. So Big Boy Fireball, Majestic Destroyer Flame, S tier jutsu. Following that, we got Lightning Net, and no matter how many times it get nerfed, it's still so good that it's just sitting pretty in S tier. So yeah, so this is the second S tier jutsu. We got lightning style, lightning net. You see it pretty much in all the game modes. You see it in flag battle for the ranged who wants to deal damage. You'll see it in combat battle for the to go with the one shots with octopus. You see it in base battle, trying to take out the healer. You'll definitely see it in Ninja World Face Off. Not as much as Majestic, but yeah, it's still there. So lightning net can be combined with pretty much any jutsu on the list. So yeah, definitely an S tier jutsu. Thousand Needles of Death, my second favorite jutsu. Unfortunately, it's a D tier jutsu. You don't see this anywhere. Like, though you maybe might see it in base battle, and you see it most often in the pit, but yeah, this is not a jutsu you see very often, and it's so good. Like, it resets jutsu and keeps people like stunned there for you, like combos. It pops up people for a combo. Such a good jutsu, but because of the fast paced movement of competitive play in combat battle and flag battle, like range types, they gotta go in, to use this jutsu, and most range types they play at a distance. So this jutsu you don't really see it in the meta, regardless of how good it is. This is a D tier ninjutsu. Now here we go, medium sized fireball. This is an A tier jutsu. Like, fireball has always been good, and it's only gotten buffed from the beginning of the game. It's now 11 seconds. It's a great follow up to pretty much anything else you're doing. It's a good companion, but it could also be the main damage dealer if you're running lightning net and octopus hug. That 11 seconds gives it so much versatility. You can just almost spam this jutsu, and if you get a spam scroll, then you're just firing it off. So yeah, fire style fireball jutsu is definitely A tier. We got the clay birds next. So yeah, clay birds, this is gonna be right after Inferno style flame control in B tier, and it has kind of a similar story to flame control. Like if you're using flame control, you can also use clay birds. The tracking is insane, the damage is really good. This is a 12-second jutsu. It's kind of slow, but like as far as like the meta goes, only rarely see these two jutsu inside of combat battle in the pit. So it's definitely a B tier jutsu. Next we have multiple striking shadow snakes, and I'm not gonna hold y'all, like I didn't really like this jutsu at all. It still needs a buff. The animation is still slow on the recovery after using it. You can still get interrupted pretty easy, and it's only a one like on range, so it's like it's not really worth it, with the DOT and going through walls in the 10 seconds. Like that's why you never see it. So this is definitely a D tier jutsu. Like other than people just messing around throwing and me experimenting stuff on base, you like will never really see this jutsu in any of the game modes. So it's definitely a D tier jutsu. Following this we have Angelic Advent, and I put this in C tier because you'll definitely see this in a pit and people just being annoying in like combat battle and base battle, and you'll definitely see it in flag battle. So like it's not like super meta to the point where you're always seeing it and you have the range flag running or anything, but it's not like D tier where you just never see it, because you do see it, especially if you're solo queuing and stuff. You always have that range type either on your team or the other team running this. So it's definitely just a normal C tier jutsu. So that's why I got it right here. Next we have Water Dragon, another A tier jutsu. You're starting to see this a lot more with people on flag battle. They use it to like stop the flag runner. You also see this in combat battle and the pit. You'll maybe see it in base battle, but for the most part, people will use other jutsu for base just so that they can control a point, But it's still pretty high up there in the meta. So Water Dragon, I have it in A tier. Chidori, you don't really see this as much as you did back in the day. And that's the reason. The reason is because there's so many one shots that you don't really want to go in close as a range. You can still get interrupted, and range types they look for that now, and you can't really one shot lightning net Chidori anymore. So this one has definitely fallen from grace where it used to be. So I just have it in steady B tier. It's still a solid jutsu, still does good damage. You still see it a lot here in the meta game. Especially with like flag running, and that's pretty much really you only see it in flagging in the pit. You just see it here and there in a combat battle. Not really base battle jutsu, though if people want to sneak back caps, they do it, but you don't really see it in base. You'll see it in the other three game modes, mainly flag battle. But yeah, it's a B tier jutsu. I have C2 Dragon and C tier. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a really good jutsu, but again, this is a meta tier list, and you don't really see this here because on flag battle and base battle is where you'll mainly see it, and range types opt to run other stuff. They opt to play the middle ground, and this is for guarding the point. So if you're a flag defender, then you'll have it here, but mainly people in the meta game, they'll have the defense stay back and the range type deal damage to get ticks. So you can't really do that with the C2 Dragon. It's mainly an annoyance to keep a controllable point and things like that. So yeah, it's a C tier jutsu. Amaterasu, it's a really good jutsu. I have this here in A tier because even though the nerf, which kicked out S tier in my opinion and made it A tier, where it doesn't break sand shield anymore. So it can't go through sand shield, it can't go through water pillar. So that was a really big hit. It definitely dropped this jutsu from grace. So you're starting to see it less and less, but it is a great counter to flame lightning, which is the next jutsu up. Also, it still breaks guards, not like the traditional guard break where the enemy will lose their sub, but if they're standing still and they're trying to guard, you put this on them, they're in a, get the hell off me animation, and then you can like throw them off of a point. So still good damage, still has great effects, still got a good stun. It's just not an S tier jutsu anymore. So I have it here in the A tier. And then we have the jutsu you all been waiting for, the most meta jutsu for range types and one of the top meta jutsu in the game, Flame Lightning, notorious for pitfalls. This jutsu does so much, like it's pretty much the new Amaterasu. Like the tracking is insane, like the distance is pretty good, like the damage is like crazy, the combo potential is crazy. You definitely see this everywhere in any game mode, whether it be flag, definitely flag, base battle, combat battle, the pit, barrier battle. Like you see this everywhere. Like this jutsu is like when you think of range types, oh damn it, they're running flame lightning. So yeah, this one is the top of S tier. This is the most meta jutsu for range types. Next we have Icicle Swallow, which got a silent nerf. It was never in the patch notes, but it deals less damage, and it definitely didn't up or lower its position because really like the hitbox on this thing is like really poor, and you want to like guarantee some stuff. So as far as Icicle Swallow goes, I have it here in B tier. It's still solid for like one shots. It's still solid jutsu, but people mainly opt to do other things other than Icicle Swallow. Especially if you're if you're combining your jutsu with the attack types, you don't really need this because they have Octopus Hug. So this kind of is like a poor man's Octopus Hug. So definitely don't see this in the meta. It's still around, you mainly see it in combat battle, but yeah, I just have it in B tier for now. Next we have Shikigami Dance Shield. Great jutsu, you don't really see it. Like you'll see it in the pit, maybe combat battle, but or maybe base battle, but yeah, it's too slow. And like I said, like these two jutsu, they're like replacements for Octopus Hug, but since Octopus Hug is so good, you want to combine with that, and these two jutsus, they're not really good for that. So Shikigami solid jutsu, but C tier in the meta. Salamander, the jutsu I don't like the most. Like its hitbox is terrible. Like it just, yeah, bad jutsu. 30 seconds. You can't really effectively be a range type with this thing around. You got to go in, you got to place it down, and then it can just get killed off in seconds. So it's definitely a D tier jutsu. You don't see it unless people are messing around. It's just down here at the bottom. And then following up with this is like probably the worst jutsu in the metagame. You have your flame bomb. You don't see this at all, like anywhere. No one uses flame bomb ever. So yeah, it's just a poor man's fireball. Like you won't see it. And then we have, let's see here. Oh, Hiding in Ash Jutsu. So yeah, you'll see this definitely in the pit. It's mainly where you see it. You'll also see it in flag battle. So I have this here at the very end of B tier, just because of how like prevalent it is in the pit, and you know you definitely see in flag battles. So it's a B tier jutsu. Um, you know it's solid, not the best, not the worst, but as far as the metagame goes, you do see it a lot. The next jutsu I have here is lions, and yeah, this is like up here in the A tier like column, like almost S tier, but because of the lightning net nerf, you don't see as much people one-shotting, but it's you still see people running that with lightning net combining with octohug. So definitely an A tier, top of the A tier, just out of S tier meta jutsu. Next we have its counterpart, the Inkbirds. And yeah, this is a D tier jutsu. You don't see this like at all. Like you'll maybe see people playing around with it in combat battle. You'll mainly see in the pit, but yeah, it's just not high on the meta. There's other stuff that you can run to do one shots and combine and like defend bases, get your flag back, defend your flag. But this isn't the jutsu, so it's a D tier jutsu. And then you have Great Breach, which it's pretty much the same thing. Like you see this in maybe flag battle, maybe the pit, but you know, like there are better stuff to run than this. Like Water Dragon is definitely better. So this is also a D tier jutsu. Scarlet Claw is actually pretty good. I have it here in C tier, just because like again, there's other stuff that you can run. So Scarlet Claw's in C tier, and then we have Black Chidori. It can be replaced with regular Chidori. It's just the seconds are longer, but the effect is really good. So you'll definitely see it as much as you do Chidori, so it's a B tier jutsu. And then finally we have Severing Wave, which is also another D tier jutsu. Mainly because you don't really see this like too much. Like it has great effects. You know, you guard break, you lower the defense, but yeah, it's just the range is bad. It's horrible to combo with your teammates. Yeah, I mean the hitbox is terrible. So like, even though it's a solid jutsu, I have it down here at D tier. So there you have it. This is the complete list that I came up with. Again, sorry that the video was, you know, kind of here and there. I didn't have like any way to like record this off of a laptop or anything, so I just screenshotted a bunch of stuff and just had it put up here. So yeah, just let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and let me know if you want me to do another tier list. The other ideas that I have is a range tier list, my favorite from S to D, and then also the best jutsu, so from S to D. So again, this is the meta tier list, not ranking them as how good they are as a jutsu, just you know where they are in the meta right now. But yeah, appreciate everyone for coming through and checking out the video. Like and subscribe if you're new. We're on that road to 1K. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Utari out. Peace.